Sahana vavatu, sahano punaktu, sahaviryam karavavahe, tejasvinavadidamastu, ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Do you feel lately as if you are going? You are moving at breakneck speed. Today's episode is all about slowing down, the importance of slowing down, and how slowing down can actually help you when you need to speed up. Namaste and welcome to the Spiritual Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Alexandra Savitri Amba, director of the American Reiki Academy, Los Angeles' oldest Reiki school, and the Vedic Healing Center. I'm a Reiki master, Vedic healing master, clairaudient channel, and healer who has practiced and taught spiritual self-development and healing for more than 35 years, led pilgrimages to India, and studied with blessed Indian gurus. In this show, we cover topics related to metaphysics, Reiki, Vedic healing, manifestation, spiritual growth, and feng shui based upon my studies and work. The aim of this show is to help you awaken, develop, and tap into your spiritual power in order that you may live well, manifest your dreams, and ultimately fulfill your unique divine destiny by working from the inside out. It all begins with energy. So today's offering is about the importance of slowing down, something we all know probably intuitively that we should do, and also about just kind of looking at where in your life this slowing down would matter, and also kind of how it relates to the times in which you need to speed up, because there are times in which you need to act quickly. So I wrote down go, slow, because I feel like these days the main thrust of the energy out there is go. It's like I heard somebody say once that they were so proud of themselves. They just go all day long. And I thought, well, I'm not sure if I would say I'm proud of myself if I'm going at, and I'm not sure how she meant it, but if I'm just focusing on going, as if it's a race. We talk about the rat race, and I think until we're actually in it, we don't quite understand that concept. I also really feel, and I don't know if you as the listener can relate to this, I really feel a shift on the planet. I feel an incredible pressure to move quickly, to obviously just take in as much information as you can with all these apps and social media, and just the potential overload that can occur with all the information that's available to us. So definitely I can feel on a very real level a sort of frenzy that is existing out there. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're interested in energy also. So I'm sure you can feel this too. If you think about when you go into public places, like you go into a grocery store or a drugstore or really, stores are good examples, because I was going to say any public place, but let's take public places where the emphasis is on doing something. For instance, when you go into a church or a temple, there is not much emphasis on doing. Even if you go into a yoga class, okay, you're going to be doing your practice, but there's going to be an inherent focus on calming the nervous system, on slowing down, on generating, activating, cultivating, calling forth peace in your being. But if you think about all the other public places you go to where that emphasis is not there, so going into a grocery store, I'm going to take as an example, you're not going into the grocery store to derive peace. Necessarily, although you can, wherever you go, you can derive peace. But your aim in going into the grocery store is to purchase groceries. So look at today, when you go into a grocery store, what the feeling is in that store. And I've heard people say that they shop at different times of the day. I myself do this, of course, because it's more peaceful. So some people like to go early morning or late at night, and they say it's more peaceful. There aren't as many people in there. Now, with people does not have to come frenzy. So it isn't a given that when a lot of people are gathered in a space, there is frenzy. But what's happening is when we go into a space with a lot of people, we are naturally feeling everything that's going on in their systems. Each of us is like a little walking body of energy, body of experiences, body of upsets, body of worries, a little force field of catastrophes waiting to happen maybe, and problems and concerns, and also the good things. But we really feel in these public places the dominance of the negativity. And so as practitioners, what we're doing is we are consciously cultivating a great deal of peace in our systems. And we are also bringing that body of energy into a grocery store. So we are also contributing a peaceful presence in the store. Unfortunately, there may be a predominance of frenzy in the store. And so you are feeling that. Whereas maybe if you go into a church or a temple or a sacred spot where there is, it could be a yoga class too, not always, because you may feel a lot of frenzy as people kind of jostle for places and put their yoga mats down and bring all their cares and everything to the space. But hopefully you'll feel all of that settling down as the practice begins. So you're bringing everything with you. You're carrying it with you at all times. And as practitioners, we feel very intensely as spiritual practitioners, as Reiki healers, as meditators, as yoga practitioners, as meditators. We are going to feel everything. And so the challenge becomes being in the world, but not absorbing all this extra frenzy. We know this. We know this on a conscious level. And yet every day we are challenged. We are challenged to maintain our peace no matter what. And a large part of this is connected with slowing down. As we slow down, the nervous system relaxes, the breathing changes, the whole system starts to settle down again. This is one of the incredible benefits of Reiki. And when you, I'm going to talk about Reiki for 1 second here because it's just coming up in my mind. When you give a session, if you're a practitioner, you are channeling a great deal of positive energy, and it's washing through you and calming you down, slowing you down. And as the recipient, you are in a beautiful receptive state to receive this peaceful presence. I sometimes say to people, I see their energy change when they lie down on the table. I feel my own energy change when I lie down on the table, the massage table. And I remark at this, and I'm really kind of not mystified, but always in a state of just noticing how much we must be revved up that simply the act of lying down on a massage table, that the healing hasn't even started, simply that act brings great peace. You can see the person as the healer, you can see the person start to unwind, and you haven't even started the session, but actually you have. Actually you have, because the energy starts to work before that. Long before you start your yoga asanas, the changes begin to occur in your body just by virtue of you making the decision that you are going to put your mat down and you are going to settle down your system and begin a sequence, whether it's a class or sequence that you're doing at home. Your meditation practice begins before you sit in silence. So think about today where you can slow down more. This slowing down is going to make everything in your life really much more effective. Now, I did say at the beginning that at times you're going to be called to act quickly. But it sounds like a paradox, but it isn't really. The slowing down is going to help you when you need to speed up, because you won't be speeding up in a state of frenzy. You will be speeding up because speed is necessary, but there will be an internal groundedness and an internal presence that will be animating you as you move quickly. So we don't want to move in a state of chaotic frenzy. We want to move in a state of grounded, serene presence. You know, in India, when I've traveled and I've interacted with really interesting swamis or gurus, what you observe is this great presence, but it's like this depth of peace. And it is so mesmerizing. You simply want to absorb it, either by sitting near the teacher or by listening to this teacher. I'm saying they're all teachers. As I've interacted with them, I regard them as teachers. Even, maybe I've met some we would call holy people, or yogis who are dedicating their lives simply to, or let's say profoundly, to spiritual practice. And I've met them for just brief interactions. For instance, coming out of a temple, and there'll be a wandering sadhu. A sadhu is a person who has devoted his or her life to just spiritual work, just working on the self, the soul, understanding why we're here, and really just connecting with the depth of their being. So I've met these fascinating individuals who may have next to nothing in terms of in terms of material possessions, but who have great, great, great spiritual wisdom. And being in their presence is just unbelievable. It's like taking a drink of water after a long time of being thirsty, and just feeling, this isn't even a very good analogy because it doesn't convey the depth of what I'm trying to say, but just feeling how much that drink of water was needed. And again, not the greatest analogy, but such an incredible exchange that you get. And exchange, by that I mean you're sitting in the presence of, I'm thinking about one sadhu I met in particular, and just gazing into his eyes and seeing the depth, the stillness, the presence that was available there. The other thing you feel is an unwaveringness, like a very, very potent strength. It's something that's, I guess I can't really quite put into words, but this is why we seek out these kinds of experiences. And when I take people on pilgrimages to India, we have such fascinating and often serendipitous meetings with people like this. So the value of slowing down is going to bring us immense gifts that are going to then translate into our lives. We're going to take that presence that we're cultivating, the presence that I'm talking about, that I'm seeing in the eyes of the guru in India. We are cultivating that kind of presence within us, and we're going to bring that into our lives, and it will obviously affect us on many beautiful and positive ways. Now, when you are doing your practice, think about the grocery store again. You are carrying all of that into the world. You are carrying it into the grocery store. So you have a beautiful responsibility beyond your own practice to edify and improve yourself, and beyond the practice of helping one individual. Let's say you're doing a Reiki healing on one individual and you are helping that person in that moment. beyond helping yourself, beyond helping one person, you are also helping the collective consciousness as you move into the world and as you bring this amazing peace that you have generated, this amazing connection, this amazing light, this amazing presence. You are bringing this into the world, and this it absolutely does, and believe this and understand this, it does affect everything around you. So when we gather in community to do meditation and sacred sound, the gatherings that I lead, I know that what we're generating is emanating out from the space like waves into the atmosphere. And as a healer, I can see this. I can see visually, using a clairvoyant sense, I can see the energy going outside. We can feel it also. And other people outside may hear it as you chant, of course, and become affected by this presence that you are generating as a group. When I'm talking about when we meet as a group. So we also meet and do Reiki as a group. This is also extending out from the circle in which we are doing Reiki. This is extending out into the atmosphere, into the community. So every time you do your practice, you are slowing everything down, affecting your energy field, and then carrying this with you out into the world and affecting as I said, the collective consciousness. Now, one other thing I want to say about the grocery store is notice that when you go into it, if you are sensing that frenzy, notice your ability to maintain peace, to maintain your center. So the goal of all of these practices is to generate enough presence where that presence is forever guiding you. It's like if you think about these yogis I'm talking about meeting in India, I have seen things happen where like some calamity happens and I don't know, somebody falls down or like there's a near accident or on the street, and you'll notice the reactions of the general public versus somebody who is devoting a lot of time to meditation. The reaction will be different. It's not that one is fast and one is slow. One is frenzied and one is grounded, but grounded in light. So again, sometimes you're going to have to act quickly, but you're going to act when you're working on yourself through these practices. You're going to act in a way that is not frenzied, that is calm. And when we get to this place, there is great relief. I'm going to give you an example. I was driving somewhere and I knew where I was going, but I decided the freeway was too busy and I was not enjoying it, and it was nighttime. So I decided to take surface streets, and I exited the freeway and I put into the GPS to take surface streets. So the drive was going to become longer. And as I was taking these surface streets, I started getting fearful. And I thought, I really don't know where I am now. Now, I had the GPS, my phone was charged, but I could feel myself slipping into fear and potentially slipping into not exactly frenzy, but almost. I could feel myself slipping into a space that was not going to serve me and not going to help me in my driving. And what did I turn to? Now, I couldn't do Reiki on myself while I was driving. I couldn't start doing yoga asanas as I was driving. I could do a bit of deep breathing while I was driving, but I turned to mantra because that's something I could do and drive and concentrate on the driving. And I selected a mantra I knew that was going to be the medicine I needed in that moment for strength and for maintaining my calm. And just like the yoga asanas, each one does a different thing. The mantras also do different things. Just like the Reiki positions, each position does something slightly different in the body, although the energy travels. I knew what I needed to chant, and so I used that chant. And I used it as medicine in that moment to move me through potential fear that was surfacing that didn't need to, I didn't need to give attention to. I had the GPS. I was okay. I had gas in the car. I could see where I was going. I wasn't tired, but I could feel fear coming up. And so I used this mantra and I consciously said, I'm going to return to a state of calm. I'm going to maintain my calm. Everything was fine. But if you've ever had that situation where you feel like you're about to flip out a bit or about to really go into fear. Now, in the grocery store, we don't necessarily go into fear, but we might pick up other emotions. We might pick up frenzy, like hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. So all the time we're potentially picking up these energies around us. And if you've ever had that experience, you'll know that the practice that you're doing, which is causing you to slow down, is going to help you in those times as well. So today, just think about slowing down and how beneficial it's going to be to you. I'll bet at different times during your day, you may feel your system starting to rev up. I think this happens to all of us. And these are the times to sit and regroup. Now, in the car, I was feeling that starting to rev up. And I, again, chose to use a mantra. I could have pulled over and done some deep breathing also, but I didn't want to do that. I wasn't in an area of town that I felt comfortable in. So I wanted to keep going through the experience and let my practice bring me into a place of calm while I concentrated on my car getting me to the place I wanted to go. So today is about slowing down. Instead of go, 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 if you want, think slow, slow, slow. And if it helps you, you can say that over and over during your day. When you feel yourself getting agitated, when you feel yourself getting upset about something, worried about something, oh, I can't find this, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. You can hear my voice Remember, we've talked before about the what ifs. What if I don't do this? Oh, if I don't do this by 5 o'clock, I need to do this by 5 o'clock. You probably don't need to do it by 5 o'clock. You're imposing that time frame on yourself. Nothing horrendous is going to happen. So instead of letting yourself go there, start to think slow, slow, slow. And again, your spiritual practice, the practice that you are consciously doing, perhaps you're doing it in the morning, perhaps you're doing it several times a day. I have a practice I do 3 times a day, consciously 3 times a day, and then that practice is going to spill over into my life so that I'm not going to get into that frenzy. I can go into the grocery store and say, oh my gosh, it's a little nutty in here. And I can bring the peace into that space. You see all the time also people with earphones on. Sometimes I do it and I listen to some peaceful, it could be mantras or it could be music. It's often, for me, I listen to a lot of chanting. And so I bring that into the store with me so that, because remember, we're absorbing all the time through our senses. So when you walk in, you're seeing everybody with the shopping carts. You're feeling the energies in the store. You are hearing people speaking. And so when you block out some of that, you can't block out the seeing because you couldn't go through the grocery store with your eyes covered. And the feeling might be hard to block because you're you can't, there's no way to block that with your body, really. You can, I shouldn't say there's no way. You can do some energetic things to put a white light around you, but really what's going to happen is you're going to become more strong so that you're not absorbing any of what you're feeling. You can feel it and be outside of it. But the hearing you can easily block out by listening to something. Sometimes I like to do that, and that is a very nice way to navigate a busy grocery store. But sometimes I don't like to do that. I like to just be present without any kind of input in my ears. So today the message is slow, 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 where you feel like you're going, going, going. Just start to reclaim that peace and catch yourself when you are starting to get revved up, whether it's with papers at your desk or phone calls or the phone, the social media, or the emails are coming, the notifications, the experiences in the grocery store. Just start to catch yourself and say, I'm coming back to center. I'm coming back to center. I said in one of the podcast episodes that I see a lot of people sitting in their cars, and I think, and just sitting in the car, either eating or looking at their phones or just sitting. And I sometimes sit in my car and do some breathing before I go into a store. It's not that as a healer or an empath, that we can't be in the world. We want to still be able to operate here. We are here in these bodies. It's not that, but it's that we want to maintain great, great care of our energy fields. And I hesitate to use the word control, but you're controlling what you allow into your space. And so you are in control. Yeah, I guess that's okay. We can say that. I thought it sounded a little harsh, but we are in control of what we allow into our fields. Sometimes it's, I guess we could say it's unavoidable. You might be in a place and you might witness something that you say, I can think of some experiences that I had where I witnessed a car accident or something that I really would have preferred not to have seen. But sometimes it's not possible. We witness things, we hear things that we think, oh, I wish I hadn't heard that. So if that happens, it's all about regaining control over your field and returning to center, returning to peace, returning to breath. We can always return. We're returning home. We're returning to the space inside of us. That's what we do with our practices. And today, slow, wherever you are, slow. Slow everything down. Slow it down maybe a few times during the day. Notice where you're getting a little revved up and just say, I'm going to slow everything down. If you're interested in learning how to work with energy or deepening your practice working with energy, feel free to reach out and I am happy to assist you. You can click the website in the show notes and it will take you to the email sign up, or you can DM me anytime on Instagram. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sai Ram. Jai Guruji. Om Amriteshwari Namaha. Hare Krishna. Om Namah Shivaya.